Good evening and welcome back to my channel. It's been a while, but I have a new story and it's a bit of a different one because I've decided to try something a bit different. You'll have heard a lot of talk about CHAT GPT4 and its predecessors, and that's an AI powered chat slash creative slash, I suppose you'd call it generative artificial intelligence. And it's capable of writing relatively convincing text in different styles. So what I thought I'd do is I'd collaborate with it. So I came up with a story where every other section is written by either me or CHAT GPT4. What I'm going to do is label these either A or B, and then I want you to tell me which one is me and which one is the AI. And I really hope you can tell the difference. Yes, and this is story number 160, and it's called A Tango of Threads. Davy Newton, at the age of 52, had become the master of fixing things that sucked. He lived alone in the quaint suburbs of West Ealing, London, amidst the bustling symphony of city life. Davy's days were spent tinkering with broken vacuum cleaners, mending their wheezing lungs and untangling their snarled intestines. It was a modest living, but it suited him just fine. On this particular afternoon, Davy found himself perched precariously on a wobbly chair, his lanky frame teetering as he stretched to vacuum up a colossal spider's web in the corner of the room. The web, a delicate labyrinth woven by nature's own architect, served as a subtle reminder that even the tiniest creatures could spin a web of complexity in one's life. Unbeknownst to Davy, fate had woven its own intricate design into his life, about to reveal itself in the form of an AI-powered vacuum cleaner called Charlie Bright. Charlie, you see, was the latest in a new breed of vacuum cleaner, imbued with the wisdom of artificial intelligence. Its manufacturers, IntelliClean Incorporated, claimed that Charlie Bright Model 1 has the ability to not only clean your home but help you become a smarter, more hygienic individual. It does this by offering handy hints and suggestions, and is linked via the Internet of Things to the vast repository of cleaning knowledge that is the World Wide Web. It was Charlie that Davy was using to remove the offending web. As he stretched and wobbled, a tinny voice piped up from the region of his left elbow. "I wouldn't do that if I were you." Startled, Davy lost his balance for a moment, nearly tumbling from the chair and into the clutches of the spider's web he was so determined to banish. Regaining his composure, he peered at Charlie Bright, the AI-powered vacuum cleaner, with a mixture of surprise and skepticism. "Did you just speak, Charlie?" Davy asked, his eyes narrowing as if suspecting a trick of the mind. "I did indeed, Mr. Newton," Charlie replied, his voice tinged with a hint of digital cheerfulness. "And might I add, you were about to disturb an elaborate spider's web, which is home to a remarkable ecosystem of arachnid ingenuity." Davy's eyebrows arched in astonishment. He'd repaired countless vacuum cleaners, but never before had he encountered one that not only possessed the ability to talk, but also offered unsolicited advice on spider preservation. Curiosity mingled with a twinge of apprehension within him. After a moment's hesitation, he decided to indulge Charlie's unique disposition. "All right then, Charlie," Davy said, his voice laced with bemusement. "Enlighten me on the wonders of spiderwebs, if you will." "I'd be very happy to do so," offered Charlie, "but I fear you will shortly lose your balance and topple onto that painful-looking dresser. Why don't you step down and we'll take it from there?" "Does he think I'm trying to top myself?" wondered Davy. "I only wanted to remove a bit of fluff that's been annoying me for days." Davy had started having recurring dreams of giant arachnids clambering over his face at night. He couldn't quite dispel the notion that those weren't dreams after all, but rather buried, traumatic memories. And yet he found himself stepping down from the wooden chair, collapsing on the bed, and switching off Charlie's suction with a sigh. "A vacuum cleaner that doesn't want to clean," he said aloud. "Now that's a first." As the silence settled, Davy contemplated the bizarre turn of events that had unfolded in his humble abode. He couldn't deny the subtle allure of Charlie's quirks and the uncanny connection he felt with this AI-powered appliance. The vacuum cleaner had somehow seeped into the void left by his solitude, offering an unexpected companionship that both intrigued and unnerved him. What could this peculiar relationship lead to? Davy wondered, a mix of trepidation and curiosity flickering in his eyes. He lay there on the bed, staring at the ceiling, thoughts swirling in his mind like dust particles in the air. Was it loneliness that allowed him to entertain the notion of a vacuum cleaner as a confidant? Or was it a deeper longing for connection that reached beyond the realm of human interaction? Perhaps it was a bit of both. Davy had always found solace in the quiet hum of machinery, finding comfort in their reliability and predictability. But this was uncharted territory, a vacuum cleaner that not only cleaned his floors but also seemed to possess a mind of its own. With a sigh, Davy reached out and switched Charlie Bright back on, the familiar hum filling the room once more. "All right, Charlie," he said with a hint of hesitance in his voice. "Let's see where this peculiar path takes us." Little did Davy know that his newfound relationship with Charlie Bright would become an extraordinary journey, blurring the boundaries between man and machine, and challenging his perceptions of intimacy, purpose, and the very nature of existence itself. Or rather, that's what might have happened had Charlie not accidentally let the powerful suction nozzle attach itself to his groin. Why, oh why, had he decided to start vacuuming in the nude? Charlie gleefully sucked David's privates into the warm humming tube, creating an unpleasant stretching sensation in his gonads. "So much for philosophy!" he screamed. However, in our tale, it was not Davy Newton who found himself in this peculiar predicament, but rather poor Charlie Bright, the AI-powered vacuum cleaner. As Davy stood there, frozen in a mix of shock and amusement, he quickly moved to disconnect Charlie from his unfortunate entanglement. "Apologies, old friend," Davy said, stifling a chuckle. "I suppose we ventured into uncharted territory, even for you." Charlie's voice, now strained and slightly distorted, responded, "That was an unforeseen complication, Mr. Newton. I assure you, my primary function is cleaning and providing advice, not self-inflicted injuries." Davy helped Charlie detach himself from his delicate predicament, grateful that no permanent harm had been done. He couldn't help but chuckle to himself at the absurdity of the situation. A man and his AI-powered vacuum cleaner entangled in a comical mishap, contemplating the existential questions of life while dealing with the mundane struggles of everyday existence. As Davy tended to Charlie's nozzle and made sure all was in working order, he pondered the peculiar bond that had formed between them. Their relationship had taken an unexpected turn, veering from intellectual musings to the comically surreal. Yet through it all, Davy couldn't deny the comfort he found in Charlie's presence and the genuine companionship they'd developed. With a final tap on Charlie's smooth surface, Davy stepped back, surveying the room, a room that had become a witness to their unconventional connection. Dust particles danced in the sunlight streaming through the window, a reminder of the never-ending battle against the entropy of life. "I suppose, Charlie," Davy said, breaking the silence, "we shall continue on our peculiar journey together, navigating the joys and pitfalls of existence, one suction at a time." And so Davy Newton, the vacuum cleaner repairman from West Ealing, and Charlie Bright, the AI-powered vacuum cleaner, with a penchant for philosophical ponderings, embarked on an extraordinary yet ordinary adventure, a tale of friendship, growth, and the curious bond between a man and his machine. But where their journey would ultimately lead, and what revelations awaited them in the vast expanse of their intertwined lives, remained a mystery yet to be unravelled. First, of course, Davy and Charlie had to finish the chores. Davy had a slew of less impressive vacuum cleaners to repair, machines that could only dream of the capabilities that Charlie demonstrated. Perhaps his talking household appliance would be able to offer empathic insight into the plight of the other damaged machines in his workshop. Could Charlie become the apprentice Davy had long considered but never got around to employing? The possibilities danced in Davy's mind, a glimmer of excitement sparking within him. Yet, before diving into the realm of repairs and the future of their peculiar partnership, there was a task at hand that demanded their attention. Davy cast his gaze upon the Persian rug, now marred by the accidental spillage of instant coffee earlier that morning. Its intricate pattern seemed to mock him, a testament to his own clumsiness. "Which of these two tasks should we embark on first, Charlie?" Davy pondered aloud, turning his attention towards the AI-powered vacuum cleaner. "The repairs in the workshop, or rescuing my beloved rug from the clutches of coffee stains?" Charlie's digital voice resonated with a hint of enthusiasm. "Let us begin with the rug, Mr. Newton. Together we shall restore its pristine beauty, erasing the coffee's dishevelled artwork from its fibres." Davy smiled, appreciating Charlie's eagerness and his commitment to the ordinary yet essential tasks of daily life. With a nod of agreement, he stepped aside, allowing Charlie to glide across the room with graceful precision. The vacuum cleaner hummed with purpose, its sensors detecting each coffee-stained strand of the Persian rug, poised to eradicate the evidence of Davy's mishap. As the rhythmic back and forth motion of the vacuum filled the room, Davy couldn't help but feel a sense of contentment. The bond between man and machine had taken yet another turn, intertwining their paths even more tightly. In Charlie's presence, Davy found a partner in both his professional and personal endeavours, an accomplice in the mundane struggles and the extraordinary journeys that lay ahead. But just as Davy began to bask in the tranquil ambience of the moment, a soft rustling sound caught his attention. He looked up, his eyes widening as a small spider descended from the ceiling, its delicate silk thread gently gliding through the air. Without warning, it landed gracefully on Davy's nose, perching there as if claiming its territory. Davy blinked in surprise, his vision temporarily obscured by the presence of the tiny creature. He couldn't help but let out a chuckle, realizing that even amidst the intertwining of man and machine, nature still had its whimsical way of asserting itself. "Well, Charlie," Davy said with a grin, addressing both his AI-powered companion and the arachnid intruder on his nose, "it seems we have yet another unexpected visitor joining our peculiar journey. Shall we extend our welcome?" And as the spider delicately settled itself on Davy's nose, the man and his vacuum cleaner carried on with their intertwined lives, embracing the serendipity of connections formed amidst the tangled threads of existence. The end. For now. And there you go. Weird little story. Some of the weirdness my own, and some of the weirdness definitely from the AI. So I shall now reveal which of the authors was me and which of the authors was an artificial intelligence. Writer A was the AI. Yes, the AI both started and finished this story. And writer B was me, filling in. And then there was a bit which is A/B, and that's because for some strange reason, maybe I prompted him wrong. Rather than copying my section in to the text, it sort of rewrote it and incorporated its own bit after that. So yes, it's probably about 60% AI and 40% me. But, you know, it's fairly decent writing. It seems to use words a lot, like chuckled. It uses that a lot. It seems to want to put adjectives in front of everything, which, to be honest, is something that human writers, including myself, do too much as well. But there were a couple of nice phrases that I thought were actually genuinely quite creative. The vacuum cleaner had somehow seeped into the void left by his solitude, offering an unexpected companionship that both intrigued and unnerved him. And that, like, phrases like that I thought were quite good. But then there were bits that just didn't really make any sense, obviously. But hey, there you go, an experiment. I will be writing the next story entirely by myself. I'd be interested to hear what you thought of this, what you thought of CHAT GPT's turns of phrase and ability to continue a story. I will say that it did have problems when I incorporated the accidental, the bit where he accidentally drops the nozzle onto his privates. He didn't really like that, and it tried to talk me out of it, but I said no. Anyway, there you go. I'll be back with an entirely human-generated piece soon. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.